Well, guys, it looks like our government might actually forgive some student loans for some people. Maybe up to $10,000 once Mr. Biden takes office, if he takes office. For some of you, that might make you a little angry because we had this raging debate in the United States. And the debate is, if you take out a loan, should you have to pay back your debts? A lot of people say yes. If you take out a freaking loan, you better pay it back. It's not free money, communist. And there's other people that are like, well, in another country like Europe, they get free education. So even though I took out a loan, I don't have to pay it back because that's not fair. Yeah. So that's the debate. And what you have to realize is, even if you think you're right, like let's say you don't think we should forgive any student loans. Maybe you believe that if you took out a loan and you went to college for 4 years and lived a debt-fueled life and partied and, studied your crap major that doesn't pay when you graduate. Well, if you believe that that person should not have their loans forgiven, well, let me comfort you a little bit. Let's say that the student loans are forgiven, or part of them are forgiven by the Biden administration as breadcrumbs for their far-left voters that want free money. Well, if that happens, is that really going to change your life? No, it's not. Is it going to change the students' lives that have massive debt? No, it's also not going to change that. It's more of a symbolic gesture than anything. If you have a massive student loan balance, you're probably the type of person that is terrible with money and doesn't know how to make good economic decisions. Okay? You don't understand debt. If you're the type of person that took out a massive student loan to go to an expensive college when there are cheaper versions available, you're not financially responsible. And even if part of your debt is forgiven, you're still going to owe a ton of money. And even if all of your debt was forgiven, you're the type of person that's always going to be in debt because you don't know how to make sound financial choices. So yeah, let's say your loans do get forgiven. Well, I don't care because guess what? I have a ton of stocks and I have no debt except for my mortgage. And you getting forgiven your loans because you voted it in because you're such a good person that you want to steal other people's money, you're still going to be a loser, okay? And if you're one of those people that's mad about it, and I know, I understand, if you paid your way through college or, you joined the military like me to pay your way through college, it might seem unfair. But you have to remember, people that are bad with finances, the type of people that took out massive student loans and got a degree in history or some of their BS, at the end of the day, they always lose. And you can't let them get you down. Sometimes the communists and the losers win. Sometimes they get little victories, like getting their loans forgiven, if it happens. And if it does, don't be mad. Don't let it stress you out. You need to accept that you're not always going to win. And that in this beautiful republic that we live in, sometimes there's just so many voters that outvote you and they get their way. And they have the government send them money through whatever way they want. Because that's how it works. Different groups compete for money and they use whatever justifications they can. And when it comes to student loan and debt people, well, I didn't know, or it's not fair, or whatever excuse they use. That's what they use to get the money, okay? But don't let it bother you. Because at the end of the day, it's only going to put more strain on the federal budget. It's going to put us deeper into debt. And it's going to make it harder for us to expand any other kind of social programs. Because the more debt you go into, the more interest you have to pay. And the more that squeezes your budget. And that's going to happen to the federal budget. So if these people get their $10,000 forgiven or whatever, it's not going to really harm you. Okay? We're already in massive debt. And those people are always going to be losers. So don't let it get you down. All right? I'm here to motivate you. And if you're somebody that voted just to get your debts forgiven because you made a stupid decision, you should still be ashamed of yourself because you literally just voted to steal other people's money. You voted to steal the future taxes that people have to pay because you're special, because you deserve to have your loans paid for, because you're whatever excuse you want to use to justify stealing. If it does happen, if you get part of your loans forgiven, you stole the frickin' money. Don't ever forget that. All right? That's my rant. Don't let it get you down if it happens. As long as you make good financial decisions, if some loser gets their loans forgiven, it doesn't matter if you're still winning the game in the long run. If you have $500,000 in low-cost index funds and some person gets their loans forgiven, who cares? You're still winning, okay? Even the communists win sometimes, okay? It's going to be okay. Like and subscribe.